with help like Shannon Alvarado's. With help like Shannon Alvarado's who needs enemies. Natalie Bollinger, when we were friends, she cared about my back and the fact that I couldn't carry that stuff. She wasn't making 10,000 suggestions. She recognized the problem and she helped me to remedy it. When I needed a friend to talk to, she recognized the issue and she actually remedied it. I had not one but two friends I could talk to. Shannon Alvarado wants to type that she cares. Well, you know what? Natalie Bollinger also typed that she cared. Natalie Bollinger also typed that she loved me a lot. So did Alicia Bollinger. I don't know what women find attractive. I don't care. What these women find attractive in me, I don't care either. I don't try to be attractive. I don't go out of my way to look pretty and be perfectly groomed and have perfectly straight, pearly white teeth. It'd be nice if somebody cared about me. So, well, all this has been going on. I got to deal with a lot of stalkers. They're violent and hateful. And this person was typing to me about Shannon Alvarado, about how I have these violent stalkers, but also typed about how, Shannon Alvarado probably is not going to help. If I don't reciprocate, she'll destroy my life. If I don't reciprocate, she will be cruel to me. And then she wants to do the remember this and remember that. All she cares about is getting attention. Telling me what a great person she is, what a great friend she is. No, a friend would have helped to turn in Kara Johnson Miles right away, instead of spending 7 years saying over and over again that she doesn't know how. If she actually cared about me, she'd have found a way to do so. Instead, I have to tell her things that are common fucking sense. Well, she wants to go out of her way to bleed me dry for her emotional needs. That's what stalkers do. Tim Beeson, Ted Bollinger, Natalie Bollinger. You think Natalie Bollinger did that stuff alone? No, she had plenty of help from people with a history of being predatory towards her, that had every motivation with their selfishness to try to keep her in their lives through whatever means possible, even if it means harming an innocent man, slandering his name, threatening him and his family. And then, well, of course, they're not going to tell Natalie they did this, are they? I tried telling her what was going on. And all it would have taken before Natalie died to knock all this stuff off would have been to show Natalie Bollinger what was happening. But I didn't have the ability to do so. And all my friends cared about was me coming over when they promised to help, me coming over with cigarettes or food or whatever else. I had friends that showed they were never friends. No matter what abuse I went through, their idea of helping was to ignore the assaults. tell me, oh, you just need to let it go. Oh, just forget about it. You ever think about moving somewhere else? Shannon will lie to me until I do what she wants, and then she'll show me that she lied to me. That's how it's always been, and it's how it'll always be. Looks like someone calling themselves Mateo is typing on here, and someone calling themselves Alicia is typing on here. Shannon Alvarado, she could listen. She could help turn this in. And to this day, she's literally done nothing but make excuses and empty promises. Alicia typed, you seem down. Are you okay? No, I'm not. I'm abused everywhere I go. You should look through my channel. There's lots of assaults. Rocks going through my windows. People screaming the N-word at me. Anti-gay stuff. Anti-LGBT stuff. Anti-Jewish stuff. Man, I take a lot of hate. I also speak up, and I speak up angrily now because speaking up nicely doesn't get me hurt. It gets me talked over, disrespected, and treated like there's not a problem. Shannon Alvarado is literally never going to focus on the abuse or turning it in because she can't get over being in love with herself. How dare anybody say anything about Shannon Alvarado not being perfect or making mistakes? She's got a lot of important information. I sent her a lot of it. At least she admitted to it. Now, what did she ever do with it? She admitted that she was going to help me to turn it in, and she literally never tried. Why don't you look at the evidence so you can verify I'm telling the truth? But she can't even do that because she starts going off on some goddamn conspiracy theory. Somebody else said. I don't need you to repeatedly interrupt me to tell me what somebody else said. What I need you to do is care enough to listen to my experience without doing fucked up shit like that. I get treated like a child molester, a rapist, and a murderer over Natalie Bollinger. Meanwhile, she never accused me of raping or molesting her. Matter of fact, she even mentioned me running her off as a child. Same thing with her sister. Both of them thanked me for that. Shannon Alvarado got to see that, but did she ever speak out? No, she just talks about herself because she's a very selfish person. Natalie was not a selfish person. She was a victim of long-term abuse, and she wanted her abusers to love her, to help her, to accept her. But who were her abusers? Her mom, her dad, her boyfriends. Yeah, Natalie thought she was in love with me, and she actually wrote that. She actually typed that. She actually said that to me more than once. Y'all are disgusting. And you get stuck on one little thing that you go out of your way to pretend makes it okay to commit all of these crimes against me. Look at Shannon Alvarado. The stuff that she said, what was it, yesterday? That stuff verifies that I told the truth. But how many years did it take her to verify that? And to this day, she's never attempted to verify it to a single law enforcement agency. She has never made a single attempt to help turn that into Adult Protective Services. She literally never once sat down with me and looked at evidence the whole time I was at her place. The whole time. She literally never once took the time to sit down and go over evidence with me. All she was interested in doing was having me wear a Jason mask and holding a knife to take a picture with her son. And I wasn't okay with that. She did that over and over and over again, just kept on hounding me over and over and over again. Oh, come on, it's just a picture. It's just a picture. It's just a picture. Come on, Sean, take a picture. Like, no, I don't want to take that fucking picture, Shannon. Yeah, that's the kind of help that I got from her. She also gave me food. She gave me a roof over my head. But the most important thing was what? Speaking up, helping to turn in the abuse, having a place where I could sit down with my evidence and go through it and make the calls that I needed to all these professional places that I needed to call during the day. But no matter what, there was no way to do that because she wanted to change the rules when I was there. She didn't want me to make those calls because she didn't want the police pretending like she was abusing her daughter because her daughter makes funny noises. Her daughter's autistic and can't speak, so she's going to make funny noises. So I'm supposed to make the calls to the police, apparently, and all these other calls that I have to make at night while she's busy yelling at her boyfriend. She's telling me that her boyfriend's going to help me with this computer stuff that she promised to help me with, and he literally never did. And I'm expected to sit there quiet and subserviently and just take it. Alicia typed, "Are you safe right now?" No, ma'am, I haven't been safe since I left Virginia in 2016. People have been assaulting me and threatening me ever since 2016. The first person to treat me like shit was Alicia Bollinger a couple of days before my birthday. She'd been spending a lot of time with me, and I suppose me talking about how I came there to see Natalie and to stop her from killing herself, that might have made Alicia feel pretty uncomfortable. If she had a crush on me too, which I was hoping wasn't. When you read the messages between Natalie and Alicia, you really can't tell much of a difference between them. They both type that they love me a fucking shit ton. A shit ton. When I left Virginia and they pretended that I stalked them, people started harming me immediately. I didn't even make it out of Virginia. I made it to a little rest area just over the border in Tennessee. Tried to get a hold of Maddie Boa and let her know. Well, things went south. My car broke down. I got stuck in the road. I got a broken phone from Alicia and it didn't work. I'm severely dehydrated and everything went to hell. Natalie claimed that I was arrested there. I wasn't. I was taken to the hospital because I was dehydrated. But because she pretended that I stalked her and was arrested for honking my horn for hours in the middle of the road. Yeah, I've been assaulted repeatedly over that, and I have no friends. Who's calling me now? Shannon.
Sorry, Zanny's awake now, so you might hear a little noise in the background. What's up?
You called me.
Well, I know. I mean, I don't know why you. Last night I fell asleep.
Yep.
And you know what? I'm going to tell you, like I told you last night. I'm chewing my tobacco twice. I did not make these names that are Shannon. The last one that was me would be the baby angel. I have not made any other accounts. I promise you. I'm honest. I tell you the truth.
I'm not blaming you for the other two that are pretending to be you. The two that
Say it
came
again.
after that. What I'm saying is, Shannon, do you not see that you're literally committing the acts that Natalie Bollinger was accusing me of? Natalie Bollinger didn't accuse me of being a rapist or a child molester or a murderer or anything like that. She just accused me of stalking her, of making up multiple accounts to harass her, of getting a hold of her after she'd asked me to leave her alone. Over and over again. You keep saying you're going to help me. I only got a hold of Natalie because I needed help. I needed help stopping the abuse, stopping the actual assaults.
I know.
But you've never tried to help turn it in.
I told you yesterday, though. What did we talk about yesterday? I told you. But I said I'll do the best I can do. You asked me questions, and I answered those, and I said I would try to help you. But then you know,
Let's ask you some questions here then. I'd really like to tell you what I'm going through right now, but we're focusing on what you want right now. So
I'm just listening, Sean.
All right, so with the Mandy Hughes thing, after me and Mandy Hughes stopped talking, and you were trying to get her invited into that Natalie Bollinger group that I was in charge of, why were you doing that?
Say it again. So Sandy was doing Sandy stuff. I didn't hear. I heard you say Natalie Bollinger group, and then what did you say after?
Mandy Hughes, when you were that Natalie Bollinger thing on YouTube that I made, the one that I made, to show just the people who said that they were going to help me to turn in the evidence. When you were trying to get Mandy Hughes invited to that group, that was after Mandy tried to get a protection order from me for telling the truth. She coordinated. Can I do what?
Can I?
No, you can't.
Mandy Hughes, I can't. Okay, let me know when I can. Because I want to correct you on something. Because I know for a fact.
Please. See, you're not going to listen. You're just going to talk.
Just speak, okay? I'll listen.
Now, that was not appropriate. When I was trying to get the help from Mandy Hughes that she promised and didn't follow through with, that wasn't my fault. She was going to speak up. She claimed she was going to help turn it in. She claimed she was going to do the same thing you claimed you were going to do, but she didn't. She kept inferring that she was going to, pretending that she was going to, and then at the last minute, there was always some excuse. I'm in the wrong jurisdiction. So, she was pissed off that I told the truth on YouTube, but she literally never made a single attempt to help turn in any of that abuse, same as you. Now, after she was trying to get a protection order against me because I told the truth about her never trying to come forward, yeah, I get why she doesn't want to be friends with me after that. Well, I didn't want to be her friends either. That situation that they were both a part of with Ted Bollinger, as well as both of them being a part of the situation with Officer Amanda Jonas and yourself as well. Like, that stuff was all important and should have been in court. The head games that officer was playing should have been in court. And Mandy Hughes pretending like she was going to help is completely different from actually helping. There's lots of things she did, just like lots of things you did. Both of you fed me. And I have admitted time and again that both of you had fed me. And I also had it thrown in my face multiple times by both of you that you fed me. But that's not the help that you promised that got me to listen to you over everybody else. Now, when Mandy decided that she was going to try to get a protection order against me, that's because I told the truth. And I had to show it on YouTube because none of you helped me to turn it in person. Now, the situation with Mandy Hughes. She claimed that she put money on my books or tried to put money on my books while I was in the jail. The whole time I was in Arapahoe County Jail, those calls would have done me some good. But you know what? Mandy didn't ever make a big stink about it enough for them to actually allow me that, so I never got to make those calls. I didn't get to make a single call there off of that money that she supposedly sent. Now, she claims that she did, but she literally made no effort to show any evidence or help turn that in, that I was deprived of my rights, that I was deprived of, please stop, that I was deprived of that money to be able to do those things. Now, her daughter, Alyssa Rainwater, did send me money after it was already too late to do those things because I'd already been railroaded in court. I'd already been prevented from talking to the people that I needed to get help from. And by the way, one of the biggest issues that I have is that there is a very limited amount of time when you're locked up and you're allowed your first, like you get 3-minute phone call, and I have to make that phone call, and I have to get you to shut up on that phone call, even that one you wouldn't talk over. That is overwhelming for me because I have 3 minutes to say everything that I need to say so that you know what's going on. Now, you finally started to understand that when I was in Wyoming. And these situations keep happening. But the thing is, all of these situations keep happening because nobody has helped me to turn in the abuse that I am enduring over Natalie Bollinger. I am still enduring that abuse. People are still screaming at me about Natalie Bollinger and calling me a pedophile and a murderer. And the thing is, I can send you that evidence, but what good does it do when I've sent you literally thousands of pieces of evidence before that you literally never tried to turn in? Now, here's the thing with Mandy Hughes. She's not allowed to harass me after what she did. It is not okay for her and you to be coordinating to get into one of those Natalie Bollinger groups to slander my name, and that's exactly what Mandy did there. And that's exactly what Kayla Trujillo did there. That's exactly what Trujillo.
I have two things to say to you. Okay.
I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay, fair enough. I'm listening.
All right. Now, as far as you telling me that Mandy Hughes sent you the receipts, well, that's the thing, is that I could have gotten a court date just based on those receipts. That shows that I was cut off from being allowed my rights as a human being. The situation with the courts and the situation with my public pretenders gives me numbers that I couldn't call toll-free from the jail. That's important too. But the thing is, Mandy never tried to come forward with that to me. She never once made any effort to get any of that evidence to me, not even the tiniest bit. The reason that she was mentioned all over my YouTube channel and on my Facebook is because, number one, she promised to help. And number two, she didn't keep her word. So there's some questions I got to ask about Mandy Hughes, and I would like you to answer them honestly. Obviously, she claimed that she was going to help turn that in, and she didn't help turn it in. Obviously, that's not something that's my fault. Now, my question is, after she was pulling that stuff and worked together with somebody that she was supposedly going to help me turn in, Scott DaCosta, to try to get a protection order against me because I told the truth. Because she was angry that I told the truth.
Her number on the internet, you know, I mean, is that what it was over?
No, it was over her being a bitch. That was just the thing that was throwing her off. It's not illegal to give her number out on the internet. It's not illegal to give her number out at all, especially when she does the same thing with, stop. Especially when she does,
Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. My phone's gonna die. Hold on. Plug his phone in. Hold on. Stupid cord's not, it keeps falling out. Hold on. All right, you can talk. This thing is not staying in the outlet. Go ahead. I'm just talking to myself. Trying to plug this damn phone in. Continue. Are you there?
Yeah. Anyway, the thing with Mandy Hughes, I had every right to say what I said. And she wanted to pretend like I was some sort of a fucking stalker because that's what I literally have to do. Because people like you never try to turn it in. She literally never tried to turn it in. She strung me along and lied to me the same that you did. It feels horrible, Shannon, because I'm being harmed the whole time. People are throwing rocks through. People are throwing rocks through my window. People are driving by and screaming.
You get nasty with people. I'm not trying.
No matter what, she want to make excuses. No, I'm trying to explain to her nicely, and she keeps on wanting to be an asshole and saying that I get nasty with people. You're damn right I do. She never kept her word. Mandy Hughes never kept her word. She wanted to pretend I was some sort of a horrible person when she fucking lied out her ass at me. Literally made zero attempt to show any goddamn evidence that she was telling the truth. She just wanted me to take her word for it. Well, the courts ain't just going to let me walk in there and take my word for it. Mandy Hughes has to do something. But she didn't, just like Shannon Alvarado never did anything. Just like Kayla Trujillo never did anything. They did lots of things they can throw in my face, but they literally never lifted a fucking finger to help turn in any of the abuse. Obviously, Shannon doesn't give a shit. It ain't about helping me. It's not about listening to me. It's not about understanding how the things that she did affect me or harm me. She's just going to continue doing those harmful things because I don't matter. Shannon Alvarado is a selfish person. Wanting people to stop hurting you is not selfish. Asking people to help is not stalking. Begging for help stopping abuse is not stalking. It's not evil. How many different accounts of Shannon Alvarado's have I had to block? Because she doesn't care about turning it in. What she wants to do is turn everything into an argument. How dare I speak? There's no such thing as a justice system. When the justice system is run by criminals, it is a failure, and it fails all of us. Shannon Alvarado just wants to say something, just wants to say something, just wants to say something. She's not listening to what I've been going through. No, she's got her own nuggets in her head, and those are more important. Just like Shannon Alvarado, just like Natalie Bollinger, Mandy Hughes had the opportunity to tell the truth. Instead, she misled the situation intentionally. She misled me and she misled others intentionally. She never had any intention of helping, same as Shannon Alvarado still to this day has no intention of helping. She wants to argue. That's what she wants to do. Instead of recognizing how the things that she's done for the last 7 years are harmful. Either I listen to her berate me and talk over me, and of course she wants to keep on about a situation that I was there for, that I am more aware of than her. And she wants to talk over me like she knows better than me because one of my predators said something different. That's why I show evidence. That's why I sent that retarded woman evidence. You don't like that word? How dare I use that word? I get treated like a retard. We got somebody on here being a troll, so what do we do with those guys? I'd use her on this channel. This person typed Alicia, typed, how long has this been going on for you? With Shannon Alvarado, since Natalie Bollinger was killed. With the original set of, well, I've been dealing with the abuse from Boulder police after I was unable to defend myself against it since October 18th of 2015. I've had to deal with this stuff from Natalie Bollinger's friends and family since October 2016. Or sorry, October 2016. I've had to deal with the abuse worldwide, no matter where I go, because of how popular Natalie's story is. Meanwhile, it's not even Natalie's story. It's not even Natalie's story. Shannon Alvarado was going to help me turn in the abuse, but she literally wouldn't stop saying, I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how. I don't know who to turn it into. I don't know who to turn it into. Hey, I do know who to turn it into. What I need is to not have to turn it in by myself. I've got literally hundreds of calls to the people into by that point. Hundreds of calls to those people, but I had to make them by myself. I repeat to this stupid person, hey, Shannon, here's what I need. Someone to make the calls with me. I don't know who to call. Would you shut the fuck up? Stop saying that. Actually listen. Stop digging for excuses. Because a friend, someone who actually cares about you as a human being, is going to find a way to help stop the abuse. But all Shannon can seem to do is find ways to talk about herself and her compassion. She did this and she did that. Out of all the things that she wants to throw in my face that she did, how many of them were helped to turn in the crimes? Now she's going to play this head game. Oh, I want to help. I want to help. Oh, Sean, I was defending you. No, she was fucking lying on my fucking YouTube channel under a fucking fake account. At least on this phone call, you got to hear her for the second time in, what, 2 days? Well, we got two people here being dickheads. Alicia, don't ask questions, please. All right? I've already answered all of the questions that you're going to ask. I've already answered them hundreds of times. I'm trying to tell what's going on right now and why it's important. I know that you have questions. No, I don't have a social worker because I don't have a friend or family member who cares. No social worker gives a crap about a male who's homeless. Alicia typed, okay, I apologize, and thank you for that. You get to see how inappropriate it is for me to try to do this at the library. If you pay any attention whatsoever, I've been spoken to repeatedly about how the things that I'm told to do are not appropriate. Why don't you go to Starbucks and do that? Because it's appropriate to talk about that stuff in Starbucks, and because it's too loud of an environment. But unless you're autistic, that's not going to register to you as a problem, is it? Being constantly stuck in loud environments, and I'm supposed to do all this stuff for the police from loud environments where I'm being abused. And Shannon Alvarado doesn't give two shits about that. She's going to make all sorts of excuses for Mandy Hughes, but she literally never made any attempt to hear my side. Then she wanted to gang up with Mandy Hughes to get into those Natalie Bollinger groups and talk trash. And they did. Unfortunately, one of those Natalie Bollinger groups they were trying to get into is mine. And unfortunately for Shannon Alvarado, she didn't remember that she was one of the admins of that group. So when she was asking for me to let Mandy Hughes on there, after Mandy Hughes wanted to get a protection order against me, why did I threaten to give out her number? And take a look at all the other numbers I actually have. Mandy Hughes procrastinated and wasted time and made false promises. In reality, she was just one of them web sleuths, just like Shannon Alvarado. My paperwork shows that the police and Bollingers tried to paint me as a violent schizophrenic who couldn't take no for an answer. And of course, the police and the courts have run with that, as well as my own public pretenders, despite the fact that I had plenty of documentation showing I am not schizophrenic. I am not delusional. When I say somebody assaulted me, it's because they assaulted me. This person calling himself Multiverse Media Space typed you are being loud back at people. Friend. And yes, I am being loud back at people. Although I can't make the distinction of you being friend because I don't know you. Oh, Guam. Alicia, Izzy typed, how is it, brah? Love from Guam. Shaka, baby. Alicia typed, my brother is autistic. Izzy typed, same here. He can talk, but social skills are not there. He's 21. He can communicate, but he drools. He's always on his iPad watching shows or his DVD player. He can do easy chores with supervision. Well, that's pretty low functioning. He might be medium functioning. I have what's called Asperger's, which is high functioning. Anyway, on the front of here is just another part of a message from somebody who's telling me not to bother with Shannon because she's never going to help if I don't reciprocate the feelings. And that the reason that she's always wanting to reminisce is because she wants me to remember the good times. Well, they weren't there. Like when she was trying to say that we were friends, before I ever met her in person, she wanted to say, oh, I've known Sean for 5 months. No, you haven't known me. You've never met me. You don't know the first thing about me. Troy Mingo typed, get a coffee. Yeah, I must be talking fast, huh? People who have ADHD, we tend to go super fast. And the more excited we are, the faster we go. The only thing that really helps to stop that is caffeine. Caffeine slows us down, which is the opposite of what it does for most people. Izzy typed he was born during a super typhoon and was dead for 5 minutes before they could get him back oxygen, and they had to make a feeding tube in his stomach so he can eat. All right, well, I'm going to tell you something, Izzy. That is an important story, and it does mean something to you. So I'm not trying to diminish your story or say that you're less of a person for it. But when it comes to helping somebody, typing about yourself doesn't often help. Matter of fact, most of the time it makes them worse, and it makes people more afraid to tell you what's going on. I do try to read people's comments on here because sometimes they do add something useful or helpful. But anything useful or helpful that they add on my channel, they sabotage it by not helping to turn it in. Is Shannon Alvarado going to continually make excuses for Mandy Hughes and her shitty behavior? Of course she is. Is she going to continue to make excuses for her own shitty behavior? Of course she is. Troy Mingo type coffee will make you feel a little better. Alicia typed, I'm sure he would be thankful if you sent him a tip to go get a coffee. Well, here's the problem is that I don't have a bank account to set that up to be able to get that money if you were to send me a tip. See, that's something I needed help with before Natalie was killed, and nobody ever helped me. I spent a lot of money paying people to help me to do that, and they still didn't help. All they did was rip me off for my disability money. After Natalie was killed, two people made GoFundMe accounts to supposedly help me, but those people didn't help me. I didn't get a single penny of that. And when I was being treated like I was scamming people for thousands of dollars with these GoFundMe accounts, did Cara Rogers, aka Cara Mia, ever come forward about the fact that she's one of the ones that made that account? How about Candace Bondurant? Did she tell you that she's the one that made the other one? Did Candace Bondurant tell people that she had lied to the public, intentionally misled the situation to the public, and to Cara Rogers in order to get them to dump that off too? Cara Rogers destroyed an entire group that had a lot of people that wanted to help me in it. And she didn't care. Now, why did I call Cara Rogers after she repeatedly did shit like that? So that I could record her words to show that I was telling the truth from the start. Natalie Bollinger, see, Alicia is typing something here that's not useful. Troy Mingo type, oh geez, she died. A lot of people died. Alicia typed, if there is a Dollar General near you, you can get a reloadable pay card that's like, no, it's not. That's what I'm telling you, is that it's not. All of you have these same ideas that you spout at me over and over and over again. I have probably said 100 times in the last 5 days about the situation with literally exactly that. If there's a Dollar General, there's not. There's not. Not here. My car's broken down from vandalism. There's no way I'm going to be able to drive anywhere. I am too physically messed up to walk anywhere to do that. And as far as having that card, without a physical address for them to send the card to, or an actual bank account, not the government pay card that you get when you're disabled, but an actual bank account, they won't send you that money. When you want to tell me how easy it is to get a bank account, no, it takes money. Before you say, oh, well, you'll send me the money to start a bank account, are you going to co-sign for it? The other thing is, how are you going to get me the money? How are you going to get me the money to open a bank account so that you can give me money? This all makes no sense. Yeah, I've got a reloadable card. It only allows you to reload up to $600, just so you know. The other one that I had was up to $3,000. But the problem with those is that they give you a temporary card. That's what you buy, is a temporary card. And they send you the permanent card in the mail, but they won't send it to a P.O. box. And literally every single person who has said that they will help, said that they've got a fix for that, has shown that they're completely full of crap. And 7 years later, I'm still begging for help with that. I don't have a physical address to use. When I did have a physical address to use, I was busy getting taken advantage of, getting stolen from, getting assaulted, having to go through a bunch of evidence. Like, I can't possibly go through 7 years of evidence in the 20 minutes that you're willing to listen to me on the phone while you interrupt 15 of that. You've got lots of ideas, but you see, There's legitimate reasons. Now, how many of these people did I have to explain to them about the P.O. Box thing? And they said, oh, I have a cure. Well, just use my address. And then they used a P.O. Box, just like Nathan did. I explained to Nathan without an actual physical address, not a P.O. Box. It cannot be a P.O. Box. There is no reason to go jumping through all these hoops. The first thing I need is a physical address to have this sent to. And he lied out his ass at me. And all these months later, it cost me $9.95 every single month to have that card that I can't use. Flamingo type Alicia, you should pull up on him and give him cash. I don't think Miss Alicia is here in Tillamook, Oregon. That doesn't help me to get a bank account where people are able to give me money to help me out. The other thing is, because I'm on a fixed income, they'll take my disability money away depending on how much you give me. Let's say you send me $200 and they want to say, oh, well, he's getting that $200 every month. Then they get to take my $800 a month disability and they get to drop it down to $600 disability every month, and they get to do that for almost a year. And there's a possibility that I might not be able to appeal it for up to 2 years. But this is all stuff that you guys don't think about. There's a guy here who's wanting to help me out, help me with making a bank account. And he said he'd help me out with that. Didn't want me being bullied, didn't like that I was being harmed. Had this great idea about how he could fix it, right? But then later on, it turned out he wanted to change it a little bit. He's trying to help me out, but he wants to make a little bit of money. And then he's trying to invest in a business because he has realized that he could make a lot of money off of my channel because I get a lot of viewers. He wants to monetize my channel. He just wants to make a profit, and he doesn't care how much that's going to harm me and my disability money. That'll affect my Medicare and Medicaid crap. But then he, even though he doesn't do drugs, he does drink alcohol. And what does he want to do? He wants to bully me the more he's got to drink in him. He's nice about it, sort of. No, he's really not. Troy Mingo type, my son has SSI, but we over in Minnesota, so it could be different. When it comes to abuse against at-risk adults, it's a federal crime when they do it the way they've done it to me. Natalie, Alicia, and Maddie Boa went out of their way to destroy my name and to slander my name, resulting in repeated assaults across multiple states. Them and their friends harassed me and stalked me for over a year before Natalie was killed. And how many of you care about that part?